Child, what happened at this wedding right here in Atlanta, Georgia? Girl, it's pure fire and justice served hot. Period. Girl, listen. Natasha sat at the head table in her wedding dress. Those white roses on it felt like they were burning her skin. She stared at her soon-to-be mother-in-law, Patricia Sinclair, leaning toward the mayor's wife, Mrs. Henderson. The reception hall buzzed with 204 guests. Everybody waited for the speeches to start. Her hands shook as she grabbed her water glass. She tried to stay calm after what she just heard. "Y'all see that woman over there?" Patricia's voice rang out loud enough for nearby tables. She pointed straight at Natasha's mama, sitting quiet in that navy blue dress they picked together at Macy's in Atlanta 3 months ago. "That ain't no mother. That's a mistake in a dress." Those words hit Natasha like a slap. She gasped. A few guests turned and stared at her mama. Some covered their mouths in shock. Others looked away embarrassed. Natasha's mama kept her face calm, but pain flashed in her eyes before she looked down at her plate. Then Brandon, her husband of just 2 hours, threw his head back and laughed out loud. The sound echoed through the whole hall like a gunshot. "Mama, you too much," he said, still chuckling as he grabbed his champagne. "But you ain't wrong." Natasha felt something inside her shatter completely. Not crack, but break all the way. Her mama raised her alone after Daddy left when she was 8. Mama worked 2 jobs to put her through college, never complained about the sacrifices. She taught Natasha to be strong, to be kind, and never let anybody make her feel small. And now, her mama sat there getting humiliated by folks who knew nothing about strength or sacrifice. Whew, child, the audacity. Patricia kept the show going for the tables nearby. "I told Brandon he could do better, but men get drawn to pretty faces. They don't think about background." She waved her hand all dismissive. "At least the girl got an education. Maybe she can teach the grandkids proper English." More guests listened now. Eyes bounced between Mama and Patricia like a tennis match. Some looked uncomfortable, but not one person stood up for Mama. Finally, Mama looked up. Their eyes met across the hall. She gave that small smile and tiny nod, the same one before school presentations or job interviews. It meant, "You got this, and I believe in you." But this time, Natasha saw the tears she held back. "The whole family is trash," Patricia continued, bolder with the attention. "Did y'all know the mother works at a grocery store? At her age? Can you imagine? And the father ran off years ago, probably couldn't stand the embarrassment." That was it. Natasha stood up so fast her chair crashed backward. The entire hall went dead silent. 204 people stared, forks halfway to mouths. Conversations stopped cold. Brandon looked up confused. "Babe, what's wrong? Sit down." Natasha reached for the microphone the DJ set up for toasts. Her hands shook, but her voice stayed steady. "Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here today to witness what was supposed to be the beginning of my marriage to Brandon Sinclair." The crowd murmured. Brandon's face went pale. "Natasha, what are you doing?" "I'm calling off this marriage, right here, right now, in front of all of you." Gasps rippled through the crowd. Someone dropped a glass. Patricia's mouth fell open. "You see, I just learned something important about the family I was about to join. They believe in humiliating people who can't defend themselves. They think it's funny to mock a woman who worked 2 jobs to raise her daughter alone. They find it entertaining to call my mama a mistake." She looked straight at Patricia, whose face turned bright red. "But the only mistake here was thinking I would stand by and let you treat my mama like garbage." Brandon jumped up, grabbing her arm. "Natasha, stop this. We can talk later." She pulled away. "There won't be a later, Brandon. When your mama insulted mine and you laughed, you made your choice. Now I'm making mine." She pulled off her wedding ring and set it on the table with a click that echoed through the silent hall. The marriage is over before it started. Thank you all for coming, but there's nothing to celebrate here. She walked across the hall to her mama, who stood up with pride in her eyes. Come on, Mama, let's go home. As they walked toward the exit, Patricia's voice followed. This is insane. You can't just leave. What about the gifts? What about the money we spent? Natasha stopped and turned back one last time. Send me the bill. The last thing she heard was 204 people starting to whisper all at once. By tomorrow, everybody in Atlanta would know what happened at the Sinclair wedding. But more important, they would know why. Outside in the Atlanta afternoon sun, Mama squeezed her hand. I'm proud of you, baby girl. I'm proud of us, Mama. Y'all, what would you do, sis, if your new in-laws disrespected your mama like that on your wedding day? Drop a if you Team Natasha. Natasha had no idea walking away would be the easy part. The hard part was just beginning. The hotel room downtown in Atlanta felt like a prison. She sat on the edge of the king-size bed, still in her wedding dress, watching Mama pack their things. The champagne Brandon ordered still chilled in the ice bucket, mocking her. You did the right thing, Natasha, Mama said quietly. A man who laughs at cruelty toward his wife's mama is not a man worth marrying. Natasha nodded, but inside she was falling apart. It wasn't just the wedding. It was the 2 years with Brandon. The house they were supposed to move into next week, the life she thought she was building. Her phone buzzed nonstop with calls and texts, most from Brandon, some from his family. She turned it off after his sister's message. You embarrassed our entire family. This is unforgivable. Good, Natasha said out loud. I hope I did. There was a knock at the door. Mama froze. Another knock, louder. Natasha, Brandon called through the door. Open up. We need to talk. Mama walked to the door but didn't open it. Go away, Brandon. She doesn't want to see you. This is between me and my wife. Ex-wife, Natasha corrected loud. We're getting an annulment. You can't be serious. One stupid comment and you throw away 2 years? It wasn't one comment, Brandon. It was you laughing while your mama humiliated the woman who raised me. It was you thinking it was funny. I was nervous. People say stupid things when nervous. Your mama wasn't nervous. She was cruel, and you enjoyed it. His voice got colder. Fine, but this isn't over, Natasha. You can't humiliate my family like that and walk away. There will be consequences. After his footsteps faded, Mama sat beside her. What kind of man says that to a woman he claims to love? The wrong kind, Natasha said. But Brandon's words stuck. The Sinclair family owned the largest construction company in Atlanta. They had money and connections. They could make life hard for people who crossed them. Zara called, her best friend since college and maid of honor. Girl, what just happened? I'm still in the hotel lobby and people going crazy down here. Brandon's daddy making phone calls looking furious. His mama crying like somebody died. Brandon looks ready to punch somebody. Natasha felt that chill again. I think the Sinclairs finna retaliate. I need to be ready. Zara stayed in Atlanta a few more days. Natasha looked out the hotel window at Peachtree Street downtown. Sinclair Construction Headquarters sat right there. Big blue signs screaming importance. I'm done being nice, she told Zara. If they want a war, they can have one. I'm finna find every secret this family hiding and make the whole city know who they really are. 3 days after the wedding that never was, Natasha sat in her apartment with her laptop open. Zara curled on the couch, scrolling social media. The story everywhere, sis. Somebody recorded your speech. It got 50,000 views already. Brandon posted too. trying to say she had a breakdown from work stress. Classic move. Can't attack the message, so attack the messenger. Natasha dug into Sinclair construction for 3 straight days. They had contracts with the city of Atlanta, the county, major developers, but every contract came right after big donations to the mayor's campaign or city development fund. They overbilled by 20 to 30% on public records. And Rebecca Torres, Brandon's business partner, turned out she was more than that. Photos showed them at restaurants, hotel bars, same car, all while her brand new company got millions in subcontracts from Sinclair on city projects. Taxpayer money going to an unqualified company because she was sleeping with Brandon. Plus safety violations buried, questionable contracts, kickbacks. The file grew thick. A reporter from the Atlanta Tribune called. People at the wedding talking. We hearing the Sinclairs got a history of treating folks bad. You got anything on their business? Natasha started typing a full report. Facts only. Charts, photos, witness names, public records. Everything bulletproof. Text came from unknown numbers. You made a big mistake. Stop digging or you'll regret it. She deleted them. This just proves I'm close, she told Zara. People only threaten when you hittin' the truth. 1 week later, her apartment looked like a detective office. Charts on walls, documents everywhere. Zara helped organize. Former Inspector James Patterson finally talked. Safety violations on Sinclair sites buried. He got fired for pushing. Angela Reeves, a teacher, got screwed on her house addition, paid $15,000 extra to fix their mess, kept every threatening letter. The Atlanta Tribune ran the first article. City contracts under investigation. Questions on Sinclair construction billing. Facts. No drama, just numbers and public safety. The Sinclairs fought dirty. TV ran stories calling Natasha unstable and vindictive. Fake bank records, paid witnesses. A rock came through her window with a note. Keep your mouth shut. But part 2 dropped. Safety violations exposed. James Patterson went on record. Employees talked. City Council launched their own investigation. Clients canceled contracts. Brandon called. You destroying my family over a grudge. I'm exposing corruption and safety violations, she said. If that destroys your business, maybe it deserved to die. Rebecca Torres flipped. She met Natasha and the reporter with recordings. Brandon telling her to inflate costs 30%, bragging about firing the inspector, admitting bribes, federal fraud, prison time. The FBI stepped in. Agent Sarah Mitchell called. We've been watching the Sinclairs 18 months. Your articles gave us what we needed. Arrests coming this afternoon. At 3:15 that day, FBI raided Sinclair Construction headquarters on Peachtree. Brandon, Tom, Patricia, all in handcuffs on live TV. Rebecca surrendered. City officials too. Y'all seeing this mess? The woman who called Natasha's mama a mistake, now in an orange jumpsuit. Period. 6 months later, Natasha started Johnson Marketing Solutions, but it turned into full investigations. Women came to her for workplace harassment, small businesses for fraud, nonprofits for embezzlement. Zara moved to Atlanta permanent, became partner. They merged with a legal aid clinic run by Michael, Robert the reporter's brother. Now, Chan and Johnson Legal Investigation Services. 47 cases, 43 wins. Brandon got 5 to 7 years. Tom, 10 to 15. Patricia pled guilty too. Rebecca got 2 years for cooperating. James Patterson back as head of building inspections with back pay. Angela started a nonprofit helping homeowners fight bad contractors. New laws passed. Bidding process cleaned up. Safety oversight stronger. 1 year later, Natasha stood outside the federal courthouse watching Patricia walk out in handcuffs for the last time. 11 people convicted. $4.2 million in restitution. The old Sinclair headquarters lot, now a community center for working families, paid for by justice. Her mama got promoted to assistant manager at the store. My grace under pressure made me the choice, she laughed. Something good came from that day, too. Natasha and Michael started dating slow. Business first, then real. He understood the work, respected her independence, fought for the same people. Girl, this wasn't revenge. This was justice. And it started with one sister in Atlanta refusing to let anyone disrespect her mother. What would you do if your in-laws tried to break you in your wedding day? Would you stay silent or stand up and run it all down? Drop a call to Team Natasha. Comment period below if this story got you fired up. If you want more drama, more revenge, more Black sister stories that hit different, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and turn on notifications. I'll see y'all in the next one. On God. Stay strong, stay loud, and never let them make you feel small. Love y'all.